Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. I'm your host, as always, Ryan, and today we are going to be talking about AEW versus New Japan Forbidden Door 2024. So, over the last couple of years, we've had AEW versus New Japan as a pay-per-view, obviously Forbidden Door, where it's picked some of the best in AEW versus some of the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, this year, for the first time, it seemed to have gotten a little more volatile between New Japan and AEW in terms of wrestlers, especially from New Japan's side, speaking out about AEW and how they have hurt New Japan. So obviously, they have a partnership ongoing, but AEW has poached quite a lot of talent over the last year or so with Shibata, Jay White, Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, all these wrestlers that were under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Aussie Open, have now all gone and joined AEW. So, what my question is rather than just a simple, you know, champion defending his title or one AEW wrestler versus New Japan wrestler, do we think this year we may get our first Team AEW versus Team New Japan Pro Wrestling? As a Survivor Series type thing, maybe an elimination tag team, maybe like an 8-man tag or something like that. I know obviously New Japan love their 8-man tag matches, but could we actually see a brand dominant tag team match take place for the very first time? Like you say, we've had Gabe Kidd. He's done a promo absolutely annihilating Tony Khan and Tanahashi for allowing Tony Khan to take the talent and obviously to use New Japan as a secondary promotion, if you like, in his words. Obviously Gabe Kidd's got an issue with Eddie Kingston as well, who is the New Japan Strong Openweight champion. They are colliding next month for the championship. We also have John Moxley, who is AEW John Moxley. Obviously, he's been wrestling in New Japan now for about 5 years. In fact, he debuted in New Japan before he debuted in AEW. But he is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion of New Japan. And then he goes and defends the title for his first title defense over in AEW on Dynamite against Powerhouse Hobbs, which then Tsuji had an issue with, saying, well, why does he get a shot at the belt? There's all of us guys here in New Japan. We've been grafting, we've been putting the work in. Why does he get a shot at the title, yet we don't? If Will Hobbs actually defeats Mox, can he even come to New Japan? Does he have like a visa, if you like, to be able to come over and work Japan if he wins New Japan's World Heavyweight Championship? There's so many things going on, and it consistently, especially on New Japan's side, it seems to be a lot of digs taken at AEW, not necessarily from AEW side as of yet, but definitely on the side of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like Yumera, he's just won the King of Pro Wrestling Championship in a lemon eating contest for some strange reason. But anyway, he won the Cowboy or the King of Pro Wrestling Championship, and then he then said in his backstage comment that New Japan is not a toy for AEW. So there again, it's another person coming out and putting the boot in. It seems, especially from New Japan side, is they're pretty sour about how their relationship with AEW has gone. AEW seems to be poaching all the top stars, whereas New Japan obviously isn't really gaining anything in their eyes from the partnership. We get someone occasionally come over from AEW to Japan, like Jack Perry, like John Moxley, like Bryan Danielson for a very, very short stint. But whereas AEW is actually poaching and signing stars. So, is there something behind this whole taking shots at AEW, or is it generally how they feel? Or is it starting to basically put down breadcrumbs for a storyline that's due to come? Could we see maybe a 6-man, 8-man, 10-man tag match where it's all AEW wrestlers on one side, all New Japan wrestlers on the other side? maybe even something at stake, like a Survivor Series type situation, an elimination match maybe. Who knows? But I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm starting to think. When Gabe Kidd had the rant, it's the original promo. It was a decent promo, and it sort of got people talking as if, well, what is New Japan gaining compared to AEW? And then as it went on, like Tsuji come out and Yumera come out, and Shingo's said things in the past as well, and it sounds to be like every other week someone else is coming out and taking a dig from New Japan at AEW. Is this in fact actually building to a storyline? Is it going to be a big blowout of AEW versus New Japan? I mean, I'm all for it. I like the matches they do at the moment. I do like them. But anytime a championship's defended a Forbidden Door, like the IWGP when Jay White held it and Sonada then held it the year after, we knew that neither one of them was going to lose the titles. So, like, I feel like title matches now have been done. No one's taking the belts, are they? There's a possibility, obviously, of John Moxley defending the IWGP Championship against someone from New Japan and then dropping the belt, because obviously it's a New Japan Championship and he's an AEW wrestler, so that sort of makes sense. But the rest, I'm starting to think maybe there's a reason why we're getting all these little digs and promos and stuff. We're getting the backstage promos, we're getting in-ring promos of New Japan stars seemingly very unhappy with AEW and what is going on at the moment. So, do we actually get Team AEW vs New Japan at Forbidden Door 3? Well, that is something I'd actually really, really like, and I'd like Tony Khan to be involved and him to be sort of like, do you remember when they done Team Hogan versus Team Flair, where they each picked guys to represent them all? We had Team Austin versus Team Bischoff. I'm quite happy to take Team AEW, which is picked by Tony Khan, versus Team New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is picked by Hiroshi Tanahashi. I'd be really, really, really excited to see that, to be honest. That'd be a really good pay-per-view match, and it'd be a good main event. And if they threw something on the line as well, I don't know, maybe AEW stars can't turn up for the year, or AEW stars can't challenge for any titles in the next year, or I don't know, Jay White can go back and wrestle in New Japan, or whatever. If they throw some actual stakes on the line, I think Team AEW versus Team New Japan could be a really, really good match. Like I say, we've had Survivor Series, we've had Team Austin versus Team Bischoff, we've had Team Hogan versus Team Flair, we've had Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, we've had Team Raw versus Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. There's so much that they could do with this story, and I'm starting to think the more and more guys from New Japan that are taking shots at AEW guys and AEW and Tony Khan and the way the business has gone, the more I'm starting to actually think maybe there's something that they're building to here for Forbidden Door. And my guess would be a multi-man tag match. So, as always, let me know in the comments your thoughts and feelings. Do you think that it generally is just New Japan wrestlers getting really, really fed up with AEW and the way they're poaching their stars? Do you think it's actually leading something, like say maybe a multi-man tag match, maybe like a Survivor Series style tag match at Forbidden Door? If you believe, or if you think, or whatever, that it could well be the tag match, let me know who is on your Team AEW and who is on your Team New Japan, because that would be a really interesting topic to discuss. So, as I say, let me know, as always, in the comment section below. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And be sure, as always, to stay tuned for more wrestling-related content coming your way very, very soon.